up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. We are back, and it's still raining. It's going to be raining forever. 40 days and 40 nights, honey. Get the fucking ark, bitch. Gather up your animals. It's going to be raining. I just looked at the weather report. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know you stopped by. I just looked at the weather report. It's going to start raining at 7, and then it's going to rain all day until 9 p.m. So, I mean, California needs water, as much water, but it's so crazy. So it's been flood watch until 1 o'clock, all this other good stuff. So we're down here to talk about Real Housewives of Miami. I totally forgot to talk about it on Friday instead of talking about D.L. Hughley and Jamie Lynn Spears and all the fucking people. I should have talked about Real Housewives of Miami, and I'm mad because I was like, after I was done with the video, I was like, oh shit, that's what I could have talked about instead of nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and talk about Real Housewives of Miami. So we start off with Adriana's photo shoot. Disaster. Okay. Marisol comes with the drinks. The video director is so annoyed. He's trying to get them to organize to shoot the video. He keeps saying, we're losing light. No one is listening to the director. First of all, I think it was fucking cheap for Adriana to use her cast members as principals in her video shoot. I feel like she should have hired you could have made a video with at least the same amount of extras or, talent, and then had the girls in the background like you were having fun on this yacht in Miami, blah, blah, blah. I don't understand why she used her castmates. I thought that was a cheap way out, and you get what you pay for, and they probably were not paid for that, and so they weren't listening. Girl, we're here socializing. We're on a yacht. We're drinking champagne. We're having drinks. I'm not listening to none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like that they wasted money. I don't know what it was a waste. I feel like with Adriana hiring the women, nobody was listening to her. Nobody was listening to the director. He was getting so frustrated. It was funny to me because he was like, why aren't they listening to me? Why aren't they listening to me, girl? Because you're not paying them. They doing this for free. They doing this for their homegirl. Larsa lets Julia know that someone saw her making out with a man. She didn't know how to answer the question. It looked like she was lying. She tried to change it to like, oh, it wasn't making out. I just kissed him, but we weren't making out. That's not making out. If I were really making out with a man, I wouldn't do that in public. If I knew that somebody was going to see me doing this, I wouldn't have done this in public, right? At the surf club, she says, and they took a photo. She says this is a plot that Larsa has against her. And everybody's like, so what's the difference of you making out in public than making out in private? What's the difference? And then Kiki was like, you are a whole married woman. Right. What are you doing? What are you doing, lady? So, Guerdy, I don't know what happened, like in the way that they had the video shoot set up. Guerdy was, I don't know, too tall or something. She was blocking something. And so she was like, fine, I won't be in it. Nobody really wanted to be in the video. Nobody. Larsa was like, I'm going to be in anybody's video. Damn sure ain't going to be Adriana. So no one was really cooperating at all. They did finally get the shot or whatever, but the sun was going down. He was like, we're losing light and this and that. So Marisol serving drinks. He was like, what is she doing? Get her out of here. Marisol had her drinks. Like, hey, come on, let's go. So that was it for that. Okay, so then Lisa shows up, right? Lisa arrives. She kind of gets there late, and everybody's like, are you okay? And this and that, talking. they're talking about page 6. Page 6 put out, asked Lenny about them getting a divorce. He says it's not true and he denied it. So they're talking about that. They're inside now. They've come inside from the photo shoot. They're inside of the boat, and they're sitting down, and Guerdy is sitting there, and she's like directly across from Alexia. So Alexia is noticing that Guerdy is not speaking to her and is ignoring her. And she's really ignoring her. She's like literally like looking over her, looking past her. I don't even think she spoke when she arrived. They get into their conversation, which I thought was very interesting because I felt like Guerdy's issue with Alexia is valid. I feel like if we're friends and you only call me when you want me to work for you, then I feel like it's a one-sided relationship. I feel like it's not reciprocal. You're only calling me when you want me to do something for you. And I feel like it's a legitimate gripe to have and to bring to your friend. And she says, you started, making these comments about my party and this and that. The thing is, that was for my brother. And then Alexia starts mentioning her mother. She was like, you said you couldn't do my wedding. It was all about her. It was like what you did to me, but it was like you wouldn't work for me. That's how it came off to me. You wouldn't work for me, so I'm upset. It wasn't you weren't a friend and you didn't show up for me. It was you couldn't work for me. That's what I got at it. Y'all let me know how y'all felt, because that's what I got at it from Alexia. I told you she's an elitist bigot. That's how I feel. Like Ramona Singer, another one. That I think I'm better than, but I have these feelings about people, and the way that just the way that she talks. I mean, I think Alexia. I don't know. I don't really. I don't know if I don't know if I find her unlikable. I don't know. I don't think she's necessarily unlikable, but it's annoying. She's annoying to me. Like, it's just like, shut up. And it's very she's very self-centered, and I feel like Guerdy is self-centered too. I don't feel like Guerdy is self-centered to the point where she's not empathetic. I think she puts herself first. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to say what I want to say. I'm important. I'm just as important as you. So then Alexia starts crying, right? When she starts talking about her mom. And then, so first Guerdy was like, okay, so you're not going to do this, right? We're not going to do this thing where I'm confronting you about the way that you're treating me and you start crying. We know what that is. We know what script that's from, right? So this woman is talking to you about her gripes. You start crying, centering yourself, not even acknowledging what you did to her and made her feel, but it's all about you. She starts crying. Guerdy was like, girl, don't even play. She said that I can't remember who told who was ungrateful. I think Guerdy told Alexia she was ungrateful. I think she told her she was ungrateful. Alexia starts crying, and she tells her, you're like you're in this bubble, like you're in this bubble, like really, like you only think about yourself. You only think about yourself and what's being done for you. And then Guerdy starts crying. I said, Guerdy. And I know that Guerdy did that on purpose. I know Guerdy did that on purpose because, bitch, you're not about to sit up here and start crying, because I'm going to start crying too. I feel like a lot of black women should start doing that. When these fucking women start crying because you didn't told them something, you start crying too, girl. Start crying too, okay? Shit. Because we just going to be too quiet. So everybody was looking because Guerdy started crying. I truly feel deep down Guerdy started crying because Alexia started crying. And bitch, you're not going to one-up me in this little exchange that we're having. So Guerdy starts crying. Nicole is looking like, girl, what? Girl, what is going on? She even starts crying, and she like leans over on Nicole. This is Alexia. She leans over on Nicole, and Kiki and Nicole are rubbing, like consoling Alexia, girl. And then Alexia gets up. There's no tears. She starts yelling at Guerdy, and then Guerdy is telling her whatever she's telling her back. And then Alexia stops. She completely starts, like, no tears whatsoever, right? So Guerdy starts crying too. So then Adriana is upset because they're fighting, and this is not about Guerdy. It's not about Alexia. It's about Adriana and her video shoot. So they're saying that she's upset because they're fighting. Julia and Larsa start talking about their situation. Julia is trying, I don't know what Julia is trying to do, but she's not on the up and up. She basically says that they were showing off for the paparazzi. She was like, there was no paparazzi there. So I don't know who she's lying. That's what Larsa's like. She's lying. There's no other way to, what to call it, but she's lying. There was no paparazzi there. And is Martina okay with it, right? So we see later, they asked Martina about it, which I think was really bold. I don't think if she was in a heterosexual relationship that they would have been so comfortable with bringing up that we saw your wife kissing a man. Because they're lesbian, right? Even Martina was like, well, I'm glad she was making out with a man and not with a woman. So everybody was like, oh, okay. Like, okay, well, okay. So I don't know what Julia told Martina first, but she was like, they have something to ask you. Julia brought them over to Martina, basically, ask Martina, since you guys want to act like you're gonna bust me out, ask my woman, okay? So then Martina was like, oh, what are we talking about first, right? And then she was like, oh, like almost as though she didn't mind it, right? So I don't know if she had a conversation with her before. Maybe they know the guy. Maybe Martina knows that she's attracted to this guy. I don't know. It wasn't explained, but Martina didn't have a problem with it. I don't know if really Martina didn't have a problem with it. It looked like she didn't have a problem with it. So I don't know. Adriana ends up yelling at Kiki when they were, talking about what was happening on the boat, and yelling at them for not, being agreeable, for them not working with the video director, just for not paying attention. So Adriana ends up yelling at Kiki. Kiki was so mad because Kiki was like, I was the one who actually showed up for you. When you had your practice, I was the only one who showed up. Nobody showed up. I was the only one who knew. How dare you yell at me? Bitch, and I tell you, I screamed when she took that hamburger out of her purse and started eating it, because that's how you know. That's how you know she was done shooting for the day, bitch. I'm eating now, because that's how you know. And I think she even kind of mentioned it. Like, they were like, where did you get the hamburger? She had a hamburger in her purse. She had a hamburger in her purse. So she started eating. She was so mad. She left. She even told the video director, if I see an image of me in her video, I will sue you. I will sue y'all. And I'm not playing with you. I don't know if her response was like proportionate with what was happening, but I understand where she was feeling like, bitch, why are you yelling at me? I was the only one who was here for you. None of these women showed up for you. None of them. Then they came today and did not show up again. But you want to start screaming at me? Bitch. Kiki got the fuck off that boat, and she was telling that man, if I see my picture in this video, I'm suing y'all. Period. So Kiki was mad. She left, right? So that was the end of the boat party, or the boat video shoot, or whatever. So we see Guerdy and her husband. Let me tell you how much I love to see when couples do stuff like that, where she was busy, right? She on her phone, she's busy. They're in the closet doing something. And then she goes, I need your help to put my tanning, to tan my legs, put the tanning lotion on my legs. So he gets the gloves and he starts rubbing her legs. And I thought it was the cutest thing. I thought it was so cute. I love when I see couples doing stuff like that for each other. And he's just sitting there rubbing her legs like that. And that was it. They talked about how busy she was and this and that. I think, did she talk a little bit about Lisa? I don't know, but Lisa was saying that she doesn't understand why Terry, what's his name? Lenny. I want to call him Terry. Who the fuck is Terry? Lenny, she doesn't understand why he's lying about, the divorce. I don't know why he's lying about that. So nobody understands why he's lying. I think Lisa stays for a second at the boat party and then she leaves. She doesn't stay for long. Lisa and Lenny, why would he deny it? It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's fucking with her. It's all over the news. This is in her interview. She looks a little different in her interviews. I was looking at her like she looks different. But like I said, it must be nerve-wracking because this man put you, I mean, like, you live in an 80, I can't, like I said, I cannot get over it. Like, you live in an $80 million home. Your husband is a renowned plastic surgeon in Miami. Y'all live on Star Island. Like, that's not like, Star Island is like, just look up Star Island and look up how much the homes cost and what the homes look like on Star Island. And then he decides, after 2 babies, asking you to have a 3rd baby, that could have put your life at risk. He tells you, I'm going to start seeing somebody. It's really messed up because I feel like he was asking her for a baby and was already planning on cheating on her because they hadn't had sex in a long time. Like, in a while. I think she had mentioned they hadn't had sex in a long time. And because he was having sex with somebody else, and his rationale is, I don't want to cheat on the person that I'm having sex with, so I'm not having sex with my wife. I'm having sex with my mistress, side chick, whatever, Sancha, whatever. That has to be a fucked up feeling, right? To think that you have your 2 children. I think they're both under 8. I won't even say under 10. I think they're like 2, 3, and like I think the little girl's like 3, maybe 4, and the little boy might be 8. He might be 7 or 8 because he kept saying he wanted to go to a Jewish middle school. I think he kept saying a Jewish school. He keeps saying, the little boy. So he's little, his little glasses. Don't he wear glasses? And then the little girl who has her original face, because that little girl is adorable. It has to be fucked up, right? It's like you put your eggs in one basket with this man on Star Island, but he's done with you. He's getting a new model, a new object to morph and change. And the crazy part is that no one looks at how the man treated his previous wife. No one looks at what he did. Like, this man has 2 children under 10. And this woman, they've been married for how long? And he decided one day to, it's over, get out. So other women are having conversations about, like, I feel like he's tried to tell her and she's just been in denial. I kind of agree with that. I feel like Lisa has been in denial for a lot of the time. You could tell by the way she was talking to him and the things that she would say to him. And this ditzy, needy type persona that she takes on with him. He seems so annoyed by it. But I imagine that his new girl, this young woman, I imagine she acts dingy and needy too. I'm pretty sure of it. But he seems like he's so annoyed with, and he's always seemed like he's just annoyed with Lisa. And I know they tell you all to act a certain way around men to make men feel more masculine or whatever, but I don't think I don't think it's ever in a woman's or a young woman's best interest to play dumb for a man's affection and attention. I knew a girl who did that, and when I tell you, her acting dumb and stuff, dudes, they loved it. They loved it. They loved it. And when I would see her act dumb for niggas, I would be like, I didn't understand it. And then I further didn't understand why the men loved it so much. But when you play dingy and stupid and dumb, it almost makes them feel like they can get over on you too. That's another thing, like this deceptive way that men navigate relationships. If you act and play stupid and dingy, they're attracted to your your seemingly lack of intelligence, right? And they gravitate towards that. I always found that weird, and I always were annoyed by women who play dumb for men. Don't do that. I feel like it does you a disservice in the long run. So just don't do it. Um, Julia's party, Guerdy was on time. Guerdy was down there texting. She was there before everybody. They were still setting up. Guerdy was on time. She says she disinvited Kiki, by the way, because she already has loud birds. Well, now remember, and that's what I said. I said, okay, Julia and Adriana are friends. So she disinvited Kiki because the way that Kiki acted, she said, I didn't like the fact that she went outside and told the video director that she would sue and this and that. So Kiki was disinvited. I don't want that energy in my house. I need people to control their anger issues. Julia's dress was horrendous. It was so ugly at her party. I'm sorry. I didn't think anything about Julia's dress was pretty, attractive, flowy, nothing. It was so ugly. I was like, I had to put it down how ugly her dress was. I was like, I cannot forget to talk about how ugly that dress was. What was Larsa trying to get out of me? That's, Julia is suspicious of the reason why Larsa brought up that she was kissing this other man, right? Um, why did she invite Larsa and not Kiki? Because Larsa is the one that just tried to bust you out in front of everybody and said that you're cheating on your wife, and then you invite her, but you don't invite Kiki. And Kiki didn't do nothing to you. Kiki was upset with Adriana. I feel like Kiki was rightfully upset, even though I feel like she was like a little too much, like, don't do, but she was mad. I feel like she had a right to be mad, but I feel like she went a little too overboard with like, don't put me in the video and this and that. But I could understand why she said all of that. Everybody had on yellow. You guys ruined the video shoot. Well, you shouldn't have hired them. You should have had them in the background like everybody else has people in the background, like Candace. Candace had a video shoot. She had dancers. How would Candace look expecting those those women to be in her video? Not just so they were extras on the side, right? That's what the cast of Miami should have been in Adriana's video. Extras on the side. When you were attacking Julia, did I attack you? It was shady. She could have lied. She could have lied. They feel like it was premeditated. I was like, premeditated, girl. She's just asking you. We saw a picture of you. Somebody caught a picture of you kissing a man. What do you mean it was premeditated, girl? Okay, anyways. Like I said, I don't understand why Julia thinks Larsa is like out to get her or something. But Larsa, I don't think particularly cares for Julia. So of course, Julia has a goat with a diaper. Larsa asked Martina about I feel like there's something about Julia that bothers me where it's like you're always coming with this odd energy, like this odd animal. Here you're coming like to the puppy party with the goat. Here you come bringing this goat again. Elvis is his name. Goats are cute. I love goats. I think they're adorable. But it's like you always coming in behind some goddamn fucking animal that doesn't belong there or something. It's just weird. It's like, where, girl, like every time with Julia, I just feel like she just comes with this. She's like an oddball. Like I feel like that. Like she's odd. I rather her make out with a man than a woman. That's what Martina said. Lisa arrives. They're talking about why is Lenny denying that you guys are getting a divorce. They talked about their parties that they have where there's just tens all around. Nicole said they all be tens. Tens all around, women with these, girl, I was about to say manufactured bodies, but I mean, it is what it is. But, these bodies that are crazy. And she says she never liked the parties. And this is the thing, like the things that you do, like some of the things that you're willing to compromise is just like, if you didn't like the parties, what are you doing? Well, you need to stay there to make sure your husband's not doing whatever he was doing, and he still did it anyway. Right. We lived that party lifestyle. IG hoes was the demise of her marriage. And it's not the hoes, honey, it's your husband. The hoes are there. They're going to be there for any man. It's your husband. He went out and found the hoes. The hoes is there. They serve a purpose. They do. They serve a purpose. So stop calling these women hoes and stuff like that. That's their role in this whole little script. And the married men go to the women. They don't come to them. They go to them. So while you blaming IG hoes on the demise of your marriage, you should blame your husband on the demise of your marriage. That's how I feel. Miami is a hard place to be married, I imagine. It can happen to anyone. And Guerdy and Nicole both say it reminds me of why I won't stop working. I don't understand this fantastical idea for a woman to depend on a man. I know there are women who are going to spend their lives searching for a man to take care of them. I just don't, it's something that doesn't compute for me. I just don't understand how one adult could depend on another adult, and then just depend on an adult whose mind changes, whose ideas change, whose perspectives change, and how you can depend on them. Like literally put all your eggs over there. Like what? That's something that I just don't get it. I just don't get it. That's the reason why I like the way that Nicole and her little situation is set up, because she has a lot of money. She's an anesthesiologist. She ain't fucking broke. Okay. So when she said that reminds me never, and you see what her man is doing, flying planes and shit, got his own fucking plane and shit. And they got cars and shit. They're loaded. Okay. But if he decided one day to jet off with the next babe, Nicole ain't gonna be hurt. She ain't gonna be running around the house like, oh my God, what do I do? Go back to the house, go back to the house, go in the house, go in the house. I need you to go in the house and see, because she'll probably be like, girl, fuck this. I'm out of here. But you have depended on a man and he's decided he don't want you no more. Girl, what? Absolutely not. The only person you can rely on is yourself. And that's it. Martina jumps in the water, and then they had told what's her name to go in there first. And so when she jumped in the water and she turned around, she saw Julia in the water with her. Julia jumped in the water with that ugly ass dress on. Good. Good. Take it off and leave it in the ocean. Maybe a mermaid will wear it, child. But anyways, that was the end of the episode. Y'all let me know what you think. I don't know what's happening with Lisa. I haven't seen the latest with Lisa on the blogs or anything like that, but don't play dumb for a man. Don't dim anything for a man. If a man is asking you to dim yourself, to make changes to yourself for him, no. Accept people for who they are and where they are at that moment. If you're in a relationship or you're trying to be in a relationship with somebody and your expectation is that they change for you, you should hang it up. Just forget it, because people don't change for other people. Despite what they say, it's something that they decide for in themselves when they make that decision. You just don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're depending on somebody. Don't play small. Don't play dim. Don't play ditzy. Don't play needy. Don't do any of that stuff. If you find yourself acting a way to make a man feel a way, just be yourself. If you don't like it, fucking somebody else does. Okay, fuck him. That's how I feel. So Lisa, hopefully she's over there getting her shit together. And I don't think that she's out of the house. The last report I heard, I don't think she's out of the house. So we'll see. Anyways, y'all take care of each other. Protect your energy. Peace.